Unmuted, muted, all that. Let me see. Hello, 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 hello. All right. Hopefully, hopefully we got some sound. We got something coming through. If you are joining me live, my lighting is off today, so we're gonna get that fixed for the next time we go live. But we're live. We're live. If you are live with me and you can hear me, give me a little hey, I can hear you, or a no, I can't hear you, whatever. This isn't going to be a long live because there's just a few things we need to talk about. I need to say, I need to bring out here to the people, and then on tomorrow, or maybe later on today, we will be doing some additional stuff and going live, and we're going to talk about all that today. So, for those of you that are new here, or you've never seen me before, you've been missing me, or you've been wondering where the heck is she? First of all, who am I? I am Myra J. Stepter, the Chief Small Producer. I am a holistic and intuitive mindset strategist. I am a serial entrepreneur, author, speaker. I do a whole lot of stuff. And I have been MIA for a little bit, long bit, a while. Been MIA. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today, where I've been, where we're going with the whole Chief Smile Producer thing and the Empowered Smiles thing, and just some other stuff that's coming up. So, first of all, I have been through probably, well, let me just explain it this way. Sometimes we go through different seasons. We all know that. We all go through different seasons where you have your winning season where things are just happening and you're winning and it's all going very, very well. And then you have your season of loss where things just don't necessarily seem to be going your way, I guess is the best way to say this. Don't seem to be going your way. Um, and maybe there are things where, maybe you've lost friends, you've lost people, in your life, you've lost things. You may have even lost yourself, lost your mind, whatever, but there are these seasons of loss. And sometimes these seasons are not like calendar seasons. Sometimes these seasons are not like you open up the calendar and it's January, February, March, and you're done. Sometimes these seasons last years. Sometimes they last decades. Sometimes you're going through it and you're sitting back wondering what in the absolute heck, right? What in the absolute heck? And during those seasons, there are some lessons that you're supposed to learn, some things that you're supposed to gain from them. But um, sometimes it might not be as easy to learn those lessons while you're going through. You know, think about, for example, so if you're drowning, you're trying to learn how to swim, but right now you're drowning, someone telling you how to backstroke and all that, like you can't do it. Help me. Somebody come get me out this water, right? Because in that moment, you're not necessarily focused on learning, you're focused on survival, right? So that's what happens a lot of times for many of us in our season of loss. We're focused on survival, we're focused on trying to figure out how not to die, how not to drown, how not to stay stuck in that. But herein lies the kind of the conundrum, the counterbalance, the the non-balancing of the scales. Usually in those particular seasons is when you are learning the most, or when you have the greatest opportunity to learn the most. And if you learn in that season, you're able to quantum leap, you're able to move bigger and faster and greater towards whatever the things are that you truly desire. However, there is a kind of a sticking point, right? There's a sticking point to trying to remember to pay attention, not freak out, learn the lesson, and move forward in the thing before you have to start that cycle all over again, or before you prolong the season in which you're in. So, all that to say, since about 2017, I've been in a cycle. I've lost so much. Not to say I haven't gained anything along the way, but I've lost a lot. I've lost things, I've lost people, um, I've lost a lot. We'll just leave it at that. A lot. Won't even go into all of it. Um, and I put on a face and I kept trying, but I wasn't being strategic. And one thing that I'm very good about for everybody else is being very strategic in how they need to move forward or how they need to um, map out certain things. And I wasn't doing that for myself. And because I wasn't doing that for myself, then it was creating even more of a crazy situation, right? And so, just as life was seeming to, move better and I was getting things back on track, then, the panoramic pandemonium kicked in, and it seemed like there were some things that were, again, it was kind of like the roller coaster um, happened again. And during that time, there were some sucker punches that happened. There were some things that, just like many of you, there were some things that kicked in that made me kind of go, "Whoa, this is crazy. Whoa, this does not feel good. Whoa, um, what do I do? Where do I go from here?" So, my answer to all of that was shut it all down. Shut it all down. Don't do any of it, right? And because it was like, again, emerging to, like, it felt like whack a mole. There we go. I always have an analogy, and that is the analogy. It felt like whack a mole. Like every time I was like, "Whoo, okay, it's a bit pump whack a mole," right? And so, again, things were better. I was moving along. I was getting some things in order. I was realigning and restructuring the business. I was just kind of making some things happen. And then March this year, um, another big smackdown happened. And it's something that I'm still, even to this point, trying to recover from. And one of the things that I've learned in this process is that the smackdowns are going to happen, which we all know that, but it's not about whether or not you're going to get smacked down. It's literally how you weather that smackdown, how you flow with whatever has happened, even if it was a huge blow. This was a huge blow, betrayal situation that, threw me way off. And then it kind of moved into some other things. And for those that are like me, you keep your circle tight. You maybe don't spread yourself around and out when it comes to friendships. So when something big happens within your friendships, it is like the gut blow, right? It is the thing that could literally take you up out of here. And so I had, therapy is a great thing, let me tell you. But herein lies my issue with even therapy during this time. And I'm sharing these things because I know that there are people that are on their journey right now. There are people that are experiencing those seasons that I experienced. There are people that are trying to figure out why maybe in your religious realm, they're like, oh yeah, it's this season and that season and blah, blah, blah. And you're speaking things and hoping that they come true. And then something else happens and you're not understanding that you're going through this particular cycle so that you can learn something. and so that you can take it forward, because there's going to be another season in which you need to be stronger, you need to be better, you need to be wiser, you need to have a different set of understanding, because it's probably going to hurt more than the previous time that you went through that thing, because maybe the other thing wasn't as much of a gut punch, but you're going to go through something at some point. And if you are a person that has dealt with depression, a person that's dealt with anxiety, a person that's dealt with um, any type of trauma, then when you're triggered, then there are those that are high functioning depressed or high functioning anxious people, and their anxiety and their depression propels them, or their trauma even that they've been through propels them. And then there are those who may go through traumatic situations, or go through depression, or go through anxiety, and literally that it's there to envelop them and suppress them, and they can't move forward. So that's the reason for even sharing a lot of this. And also, for those of you that do or don't know, July is Minority Mental Health Awareness Time. And there are some things that you've got to assess in your life. You got to identify these things in your life so that you are able to move forward, so that you are able to live in your purpose, so that you are able to understand that even though you've gone through these things, you are purposed for something bigger, you're purposed for something greater. And so as the things, started happening for this year, and bigger and badder and crazier things kind of spiraled from that, I had to start making some decisions, right? I had to start making some decisions. And some of those decisions included, how am I going to show up for the folks that I'm called to serve? How am I going to do what I'm called to do in the realm of coaching, in the realm of consulting, in the realm of guiding others? Well, first I have to go get the guidance for me. It doesn't negate what I know and what I'm good at and what I can do for everybody else. It just simply means that you've got to make sure, and I say this all the time, coaches need coaches, therapists need therapists, spiritual leaders need spiritual leaders. Like, nobody can be at the top of this by themselves, right? No one should take in and be an empath for others by themselves. So all of that to say, during this particular season that I've gone through, um, I did have help, but I also was in a constant search for help, constant search for help, because I was doing a thing that I had to explain to another friend. When you find a therapist, then you hire the therapist, and you fire the therapist, and then you have to do that search all over again, all while in the midst of being depressed and trying to take care of yourself. So now we're good. We found the people. We've got the additional assistance and help and partners and all that other stuff. So what I will be doing is I'm going to come back. This was just to let you guys know where I've been, and I am back, like for real back, like officially back. One of the things that I do know is that consistency in being back is going to be very important for the work that we need to do, for the work that many of you have been waiting to do. I've gotten inbox messages and all kinds of stuff where people have been like, "Hey, are you offering anything? Are you doing anything?" And now, yes, there will be a class coming up next week, week after next, something like that, um, where we will be, because we're going to be working on empowering ourselves and on our courage and taking action, because one of the things that I'm seeing for a lot of people is that you've taken a lot of classes, You have you've learned a lot of things. You've got a lot of stuff in your head, but you're still not moving forward to actually do the stuff, to take the action. You've got big goals, dreams, and desires, but you won't get out of your own head in order to move forward. Everybody does about every coach that I've ever seen or ever worked with does about, a day of mindset work, a day of mindfulness, a day of, hey, you got to believe in you, right? Everybody does that. And then they forget that along the way, you got to keep working on that. You've got to keep doing those things. You can't just stop at one day, because 3 days from now, those thoughts are still going to come back in your head. Okay. So we're going to do some things so that whatever your goal, dream, desire is, whether you are an entrepreneur or whether you're a person that's just like, hey, there are some ways I want to show up in my life differently, then we're going to provide some tools so that you're able to do that. There are a couple different things in the description somewhere, where if you just need to have a discovery call with me to find out what's going to be the best way for us to work together, if it's just simply one of the step one phone calls where it's just a clarity session, I do offer those. If you need a half day intensive, I offer those. We can do that virtually or in person, whatever. Or if we need to work together longer because you've got some bigger things that you really need to kick into gear, and you've got to get your life and your mind and everything in alignment so that you're able to tackle and delegate whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, then we can do that too. You can set up the discovery call. It's right in the description. But also, like I said, tomorrow I'll be putting out the link for the masterclass. Something along it's I haven't fully named it yet. That's why the link isn't out yet. I haven't fully named it, but something along the lines of like my top 8 ways to empower yourself, and with some practical tips, practical tools, 8 practical things that you can do right as, like, literally as soon as we get out of the class. You will be able to do those things, and actually be able to do them in the class. As soon as while we're in the class, you might be brainstorming and writing down, oh, this is how I'm going to do that thing. This is how I'm going to do that thing, so that when you end the class, you will be able to really get started on whatever it is that your goal, dream, and desire is. Because what I do believe in is taking actionable steps. And it's time out. It's time out, because I've been guilty of it too. I've been guilty of hoping, wishing, praying, dreaming, thinking that maybe it's going to happen, even if it doesn't. So I want you guys to walk away with the tools, walk away with the steps, walk away with the things that are going to actually help you move forward in whatever it is that you desire to do, whether it's in business, in life, in spirituality. Um, it's time to be empowered to expand. It's time to be empowered to live and walk in your greatness. So I'm going to get off of here. There are going to be more things that I'm going to be talking about, because one thing that I believe is that some of my mess ups and my mistakes that I've made along the way in my particular season are definitely going to help you not make those same mistakes, and help you be ready, whether it is your credit, whether it is setting up your business properly. One of the things that I noticed during the pandemic, I wasn't set up in a way that allowed me to take advantage of money that was out there to help me. And so now I'm super excited about partnering with David Allen Capital to help other business owners get the money that they need, and to in order to kind of help you move forward. But also, there are going to be some classes for those that are not properly set up. to get properly set up, because that's going to be very, very important going forward, especially with the way that the world is working. Um, is going to be very important. So stay tuned, stay connected. Give me a hello if you were in here on live. If you catching the replay, let me know that you caught the replay. Going forward, some of these lives are going to be, 15 minutes or less. So I don't want to keep you on here very long unless we are specifically training on something. But stay tuned, stay connected, keep your wherever you are, because I'm in a number of places all at one time right now. But wherever you're watching from, turn on your notifications, hit your follow, your subscribe button so that you know when I'm coming live. Because you'll have the links starting tomorrow. I believe the link will be available for the class on Sunday. I believe it is Sunday, because there's no point in waiting an extended period of time to help you guys get moving and take action. All right. So it's been your girl, Myra J. Stetzer here. Listen, I am so excited about you taking actionable steps, about you having the courage to get moving and make your dreams, goals, desires happen. I am so excited about the mindset shifts and the perspective shifts that are about to happen as we move through the rest of this year. If you need any assistance, discovery call, link is in the description. There are also links to the Mirror Affirmations Journal, links to the book, Stepping Out of the Fog. Let me tell you, during these last couple of weeks, yes, I do go back and read my own book, okay? Because there were some things in there that were very helpful for me to see all over again. So, you guys, I love you. I'm so excited to be back. Stay tuned for all of the ways that you're going to be able to elevate and grow with me and me with you. And you know how we always say, smile at the person in the mirror, because that gives that person the permission and empowerment to smile at others around. And ultimately, it helps you make every day smile worthy. I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Ta ta for now. Bye, y'all.